Good morning. Hopefully everybody is having a good this day. Wednesday. I'm a day off this week. Yesterday I thought it was what did I think it was? I thought it was like Thursday or something tomorrow, or I was talking about today. So I'm a day off. I think that it is Thursday today and it's not. It's only Wednesday, but that's okay. I have a busy day today, so I wanted to come on early because I just wanted to see how kind of like the crowd was this early. Sometimes I'll do lives early in the mornings around like 10, 11, but I think this is a little bit earlier than usual. But if you're into true crime, we are a true crime channel. So go ahead, smash that like button as you're coming in, please. That does send the video out so more people can enjoy it. Also, if you'd love to subscribe, we would love to have you. I do have it on subscriber only mode, and that's only because I don't have mods in my chat. So to kind of weed out the trolls and things like that and the bots. So that's why I have it on subscriber only mode. You only have to be a subscriber for a minute, and then you can go ahead and comment in the chat. We would love to have you in the chat with us today. We have a really good chat. My Titans, my subscribers, they're the best. I promise you. So go ahead, smash that subscribe button, the like button, and all that good stuff. Before we get started, I have a lot to show you guys. So I'm going to probably if I can get that out, I'll probably be doing 2 lives today because I found out a lot of information. And is my sound still having issues? Really? What is going on? Okay, let me figure it out because I'm gonna think this is stupid. I'm like, this is stupid. I have a brand new mic. I don't understand. Let me know if it sounds muffled. Okay. Let me try something really quick, guys. I don't know if this will work, but just let me know if this is any better. Okay, now let me know if that's any better. Okay. Is that better? It's so crazy. I don't want to have like an echo, but I kind of want to put it on to see if I can. Um, yeah, it's so weird. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna continue. If it does sound muffled or anything, let me know. I'm just gonna speak a little louder, I guess. That is so strange. I have no idea what it could be. Like, because last night I got off my live so I could figure this all out. Everything's like really tight, really secured. Let me see. And I'm on the right mic. Everything's right. Okay, so sounds good. A little better. Okay. So sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Hopefully, we're not having issues anymore. Oh, okay. So, is that any better if I put my mic like even closer to me? You just let me know. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. So, anyways, let me know if it sounds any better. I will just speak up a little bit. Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, I just turned up the volume a little bit, I think, and I don't know. I just messed with it a little bit. My boyfriend was messing with it, so he probably did something crazy. But last night we got off the live and we worked it out, and it was fine. So that is just insane. Maybe I just need to have it a little closer to me. Who knows? Anyways, one last thing before we get started with our stuff. Sorry, guys, I know I had to like stop because of the mic deal, but I just wanted to let you know that we do have a members only tab that you guys can join. We are starting to get a good amount of members in there, so I'm going to be doing members only live. So if you join, you will have exclusive things like members only live chat, priority reply to comments and email, early access to new videos, member shout out, exclusive member only videos, member only live streams, and live blogs, and so much more. If you pick tier 3, there's so much that you guys can get with that. It's ridiculously great. So just let me know if you guys need any help finding that. I'm actually going to I'll drop the link in the chat here before too long. And then I will actually drop the link if you guys want to come up and be on the panel too. I'll drop that link here in a minute as well. So we'll go ahead and get started since we're 7 minutes in. I can't believe that my mic was doing that again. I mean, I can't believe it because that's me, you know. So let me see where I was at. I had like some notes out that I wanted to kind of go over because you know me, I have my notes. So I want the papers to be shuffling around. But anyways, if you guys are coming in really quick, we are a true crime channel here. We're going over the Idaho Four massacre that happened on November 13th. If you don't mind, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment where you're from below. So today we're going to go over, I wanted to show you a couple things. I wanted to go over the Nancy Grace podcast. I haven't listened to it myself, so I thought we would listen to it together. It's just about the Moscow, murders. It's the Idaho student murders inside the investigation. So I thought that would be a good thing to kind of listen to. But I wanted to go over this video that I found. It's at the food truck. So when Maddie and Kaylee were at the food truck, on the night of November 12th into November 13th, I don't know why I'm, hold on one second, sorry guys. All right, sorry, I don't know what, I didn't want to like mess up. So they were at the food truck that night, Maddie and Kaylee were. So Jack Showalter, the guy in the food truck video, has been under scrutiny if he may be involved in this or not. So this is a close-up of the video. I don't know if you guys have heard that Maddie had said like "F you" to one of the guys. So and it looked like it was to Jack. So I want to show you guys this video, and then I just kind of want to discuss a couple things that I kind of just to kind of like stuck out to me in the video. So oh, that would be so nice. I have a Yeti mic too. Yes, email me if you want. Yeah, if you could email me at TitaniumBuilt@gmail.com, and I'll even buy it from you. It's going to work better than this one. This one's new, but I did technically drop it the other day, and I'm like, well, but that was like a month ago. So actually, I've only had it for about a month and a half. About a month and a half I've had it. So yeah, it's been about 3 weeks ago I dropped it. But so on the food truck video, she does so. Maddie points at it looks like Joe and says like "F you" to him. So I wanted to go over that video. Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning. Oh, Cynthia, lady. Good morning, love. How are you? You've been on a roll with the last few lives. You do real. Thank you. I always do lives. I love lives. I just love to talk to you guys. Really. And there's just so much information coming out, and I can't keep it to myself, So let me share the screen with you. Since we've been talking about me for like 10 minutes now, my mess up stuff. I know, you guys are so sweet. Like back to good you are. You guys are so sweet. Like Phantasmatic Ether. I don't think she's in here right now. She may still be asleep. Because she's usually up late with doing live, so she'll probably be on the replay. But she sent me bracelets. I showed them on my lives too. I don't know, like a month or so. And I still wear it to this day, but it was a bracelet. She sent me and my boyfriend one with a handwritten note, and it said, it just said like, I don't know, it was something really sweet. But she wrote it, and she gave me these little bracelets, and it said "Justice for Kylie" on them, and she just sent them to me. Like, she didn't ask me for anything, or I was just like, really, you don't want me to pay for these? And she's like, no. And you guys are just like the sweetest. Yeah, so my email is titaniumbuiltboo@gmail.com. Lady Justice, you haven't been to bed yet? Oh my gosh. I have been so tired, so that's why I didn't get back on the live last night. Because my boyfriend came in and he was like, Tanya, you look exhausted. And I was like, I am. But I don't usually stay up very late. I've been up like the last few days. Okay, so I'm going to rewind this. Yeah. I'm gonna put this back to the beginning. I don't think they rewind anymore, do they? So I'm going to show you this video, and I want you to look closely, like, I don't know, just take it all in. Also, who is this gentleman back here? I just noticed that. I don't know who he is, but huh. He's facing them. Very, very interesting. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you guys. So just let me know what you think.
You're looking at enhanced video of the confrontation between two of the University of Idaho murder victims and another student at a food truck. The time, 1:30 a.m., just hours before the murders. Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan stopped for mac and cheese after partying at a nearby bar.
Everybody seemed like in good spirits, nothing seemed off, and then they start interacting with a couple other people. They're waiting for their food.
Now look at this. Video shows Madison pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive. Blank you, mister, she says. Police have already announced they have cleared the young man in the hoodie. Audio engineer Anthony Nelson enhanced the audio for Inside Edition. What do you hear in that instant?
She says, you.
So, was there an argument? If so, what was it about? Kaylee's parents say, in their opinion, some of the individuals have been cleared too prematurely. Nancy Grace, host of Crime Stories, says the victims' families are being mishandled.
Number one thing you do in a murder case is you locate the victim's family and loved ones, and you hold their hands from soup to nuts till you get that guilty verdict. All the way. Now, do I mean hand over your file and all the intricacies of the case? H-E-double-L, no. But there's a happy medium. These families should not feel this way.
Meanwhile, the focus is shifting to where the other two victims, Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, were between 9 p.m. when they were at a gathering at a Sigma Chi fraternity and 1:45 a.m. when they returned home, just a short distance from the frat house. Police fear students who have the information are reluctant to come forward. News Nation's Brian Enton is in Idaho.
Police told me they want to send a message out to the kids here on campus. They're not concerned about what was happening at any of these parties, whether the kids were drinking or the college students were smoking pot or whatever. They're not going to get in trouble, police say. They just want the information about where Xana and Ethan were.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it before the video was over. Sorry, guys.
You're looking at enhanced video of the confrontation.
So what I wanted to show you is, let me see if I can.
Idaho murder victim.
So, let me see if I can. So I was thinking, so I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Maddie calls him Mr. in this video. Like, she calls him Mr. like she doesn't know him. Do you think that she is pointing to Joe Biddet instead of pointing to Jack in this video. Let me see if I can blow it up. Let me blow it up. Like, it almost looks like her finger is going this way. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that? Because she says, like, she calls him Mister. Like, she doesn't know him. Like, why wouldn't she call him Jack? Because she knows Jack. I mean, I've heard online that there's, like, you know, there's a connection between, I have it written down somewhere, but like Dylan knows Jack, one of the surviving roommates, like they're connected through like a social media platform or something. And then somebody else, I don't know if it was maybe Kaylee or Maddie or something, did a TikTok with him, or no, Xana. I'm sorry, I can't remember for sure. But so Maddie is the one that's pointing right now in the black jacket. Houston. So, well, obviously it's foul play. They were murdered. I mean, that's, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I watched this video today. I literally just saw it today. Like, I came to my studio. I like to come in here, you know, a little while before I do a live and just kind of collect my thoughts for a minute, which usually I don't, because then I'm up running around right before the live goes on. So Jack Showalter in Kenya, I heard Africa, so that's what I was going to show you guys next. I'm going to keep this video on here because I'm going to like pull up this. This is really crazy. So I'm going to actually, let me play it again for you guys. And then I saw some stuff on Reddit actually about Jack Showalter, and maybe he's not really in Africa, but of course this is Reddit, so, but I'll show that to you here in a minute. But yeah, here, so let's see if we can hear her say.
University of Idaho murder victims and another student at a food truck. The time, 1:30 a.m. Just out.
He looks like she's pointing at the other guy.
Time, 1:30 a.m. Just hours before the murders. Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan stopped for mac and cheese after partying at a nearby bar.
Everybody seemed like in good spirits, nothing seemed off, and then they started.
Oh yeah, I want to stop it there too. They didn't get macaroni and cheese. They got whatever it was, some sort of meat. I can't remember. I thought it was anyway. Oh hi Annette. We hope you have a blessed day too, and a wonderful day.
Are interacting with a couple other people. They're waiting for their food.
Now look at this. Video shows Madison pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive. Blank you, mister, she said.
Mister. See, blank you, mister. I mean, she's gonna call. I would call him out by name. Back to good, yeah. And I don't know if it's in this video or if it was in another video, but I think Joe kind of like puts his hands up or something. We'll watch it again. I'm a little sleepy today, guys, so bear with me. But yeah, I just saw this today, and because I went to bed last night, I didn't even watch any lives or anything, and that's like not like me. So if you guys have heard anything else, let me know in the comments. If you guys have heard any updates that I don't know about, because I've been on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube this morning, and that's about it. But I've only been on for like an hour. So.
Des, police have already announced.
And then they start interacting with a couple other people. They're waiting for their food.
Now look at this. Video shows Madison pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive.
He even puts his hand up. Like, I'll show you that too, 2 cents. I'll have to find that actually. I meant to pull that up. Let me check my phone real quick first. Let me check my phone really quick, guys. Because I'll take pictures and stuff so I remember, you know. Okay, yeah. Let me just pull this up so I don't forget to show you guys. And then don't forget to remind me because we've actually pulled this up on a live before. It's just it was the one that it's been probably I don't know too soon. It's probably been I don't know a week or so ago. So yeah, I just want to hear her say it.
And pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive. Blank you, mister, she says. Police have already announced they have cleared the young man in the hoodie. Audio engineer Anthony Nelson enhanced the audio for Inside Edition. What do you hear in that instant?
She says you.
So, was there an argument? If so, what was it about? Kaylee's parents say, in their opinion, some of the individuals have been cleared too prematurely. Nancy Grace, host of Crime Story.
I can understand why Nancy's upset too. I didn't know that she lost her fiance like he was killed or something. That's insane to me. So okay, so I don't know. I think that she's pointing at Joe Biddet. I don't think she's pointing at Jack. And this is another thing. This is another reason why I'm going to bring this up too. In my okay, so 2 videos, I believe it was 2 videos ago. I brought up, well, actually, okay, so about a month ago, or not a month ago, it's been about, because one case has been a while ago. So about 3 weeks ago, I did a video on Joe Biddet and his TikTok and how he, he was saying that he didn't, he didn't know, that he didn't really know that guy, Jack. He was just there at the food truck and he just started talking to him and he didn't get a bad vibe from him. He thought he was fine. He thought he was there to look after the girls, blah, blah, blah. He was like saying like all this like good things about Jack, right? So I don't know if you guys saw my last video or 2 videos ago, but he brought out a new TikTok. And in his new TikTok, he wasn't even, this is Joe I'm talking about too, and he's talking about Jack. Joe wasn't on his TikTok for 2 seconds on this live, and he was already calling Jack sus. He said that the guy didn't order food, that he was just there like hanging out, lingering. He didn't know why he was there. I don't know. I just think that that's really weird that he decided to change his story like that. So just food for thought. I'm not saying that Joe did this by any means. I really don't think that he did this at all. I truly don't. But I do believe that maybe Maddie was pointing at him and saying, F you, mister. So he may have said something to Jack or something along those lines. We may have to watch the clip again, like see if there's anything said, maybe between the two, and maybe she heard something. Maybe that's when he was calling her ew. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe he said something along those lines because remember he called her ew because she was so drunk. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I just think this is like I'm so confused. It's like guys, me either, Lady Justice. I'm the same way. So the suspects do not to enter on the first floor. No, okay, so I think they entered on the first floor. I'm still stuck on the front door. So I'm going to do a live about that later. So actually, I can talk about it now. We can actually talk about it now because I brought it since it's up. Let's just go ahead and do that. So then I can explain to you why I think when he came in the front door, because remember that the front door was open when the police got there, like it was left ajar or something. I don't know, guys. I'm just. But Greg Hughes did a really good video on it. And then I'm going to drop the link here if you guys want to come up and do that panel. That's fine with me. Yeah, and so he did a he does really good jobs. Okay, so I don't know if he does a good job. I don't know if you know who Greg Hughes investigates is. I'm sure you guys probably do. But he's done like reenactments and like things like that of different crime scenes, and he's good. He did one of the Delphi, an animation of the Delphi Bridge, and the girls on it, and it gave me like cold chills. So he did this video, and I'm going to show you the video, and then I'll kind of show you why I feel like I don't know he went out that way, or maybe we'll just see. Maybe we'll see what the video's about.
It's completely out of the way as well. So
I just kind of want to see the layout.
about the layout, despite many videos that are out there. All right, so
Let me get into the spot so I can show you.
which is there's a closet. He came through the sliding glass door right there, made his way around like.
All right, I'm going to start here. And this is just my like opinion, you know, but this is what I think maybe happened. And a lot of you guys know what I think. So, is it really doing that? Is my sound messed up again? I haven't even done anything. This is so weird. I don't think my other mic will go on my I don't know. I was trying to see if I had another on mic, but my other mic's wireless and it's more for like my phone. Or, yeah. So yeah. Oh, sounds fine. Okay. Okay. So this is what I believe happened, and this is just my personal opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. I do have a background in criminal justice and applied science. If anybody wanted to know that, it's not like I'm not bragging on it or anything. I'm not saying like I know anything more than anybody else by any means. I am definitely not. But I'm just telling you that that's what I work with. I work with my background, my schooling, and then I just work with my common sense knowledge. But I'm telling you right now, I'm probably wrong about the door. But this is just what I feel like in my heart and my soul is an easier route. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm getting okay. That's as close as I can get. Maybe I could turn the volume up even more for you. I don't even know which way is up. Let me know how that is. Okay, so oh yeah, thank you, SRB. So what I think happened is he went in. Actually, let me rewind it, or let me put this back for you because I want 2 cents to be able to see the bottom floor. Perfect. Perfect, right here. Okay, so this right here is going to be the bottom floor. Don't worry about that. So 2 cents. This is the front door here. There's a bedroom right here, and the doors are usually shut and they're usually locked. And then you can go around this corner, go around this little wall thing here, and go down this hallway. And there's another bedroom right here. There's like a utility room, a laundry room, I believe, and a bathroom in this little section here. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly what that is. So what my thinking is if he came in the front door, he would go up these stairs here, And then I'm going to switch the picture so where we were before. Maybe don't watch it. Just watch it.
So right here is the downstairs where the keypad is. Just as you enter the door, there's steps that go up to the second floor, but also down on that first level are the two surviving roommates' bedrooms. So you have this bedroom right over here, and then you also have this bedroom right over here. Okay, that's down below, and that's the door that goes into the bedroom. And this door right here leads to that bedroom. There's also a laundry and utility room right around in this area, and a bathroom. And they were surviving roommates. Now, did they? One thing I always wondered about was,
2 cents. I don't think that he even realized that those roommates were downstairs. Okay, so that's my theory too. So if you've ever been in a house with like a basement area, normally in the basement area, it's like a living room, maybe like one bedroom or something like that, you know, but normally it's like a big open space. And I think that's what he thought that was. I think he thought that maybe this could have been like a utility room or, you know, maybe even like bathroom or something. And then he didn't even go around the corner around this like, you know, wall thing here. There's something here that's just like kind of protects around the corner. So I don't even think that he realized that there was other people in the house.
did they survive because they weren't awake at a certain time when all four of the other people were awake? Or was it that they locked their doors and they were down below? Or the killer just didn't realize there were people down the stairs, because he likely came in through the second floor kitchen sliding glass door, which is right over here.
See, that's what everyone thinks that. I don't know why. I'm still stuck on the front door though.
Here. But anyways, let's just stick right here with the lowest level. So we've just described the utility room.
Okay, I'm going to try to press this
And you take a hard U-turn.
Okay, so right here. And this is why I think this. Let me play it a little bit more.
When you do that,
Okay. So if he came in the front door right here, all he would have to do was go up the stairs here. Because this is like some serious, like military style stuff, I feel like, you know. So it's stealth like. I don't think he's going to take the longest route to each bedroom. I think he's going to go in a straight path. So if he skips the two roommates on the bottom floor, I'm thinking he came up the stairs right here, where, you know, these stairs here, came around the corner. This is the living room right here. Came straight into this bedroom where Ethan and Zana were. So there's that. So then he's going to come back out this bedroom door. And then he can go up the bedroom or up the stairs right over here. Bam, bam, up into the bedroom. That's how I think it is.
you end up going
See if
inside
I can find a better.
in there. Putting the bed here would make it hard to get into the closet. So the bed was likely in this area. And they were both, Zana and Ethan were killed in that room right there. Then the killer made his way from that room.
You see how easy that would be? So if he came in here, like if he came in the front door, went up the stairs, he would go around the corner here and go there. If he came in the back door, like the back sliding glass door, he would have to come around. He'd have to come in here, go through the kitchen, go around the corner, past the stairs. So why are you passing the stairs? Why not go up the stairs first? That's risky to me. That's super risky that somebody upstairs would be awake. So you have to come through the sliding glass door, come around, come through this little hallway. Then there's like a step down, and then come around the corner and go into the bedroom. That doesn't make sense to me. That's just me. I think it's easier that he came through the front door, went up the stairs, went around the corner, went to Ethan, Zana, came back out, went straight up the stairs here, and then went into, I believe it was Maddie's room that they were found in. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, and the house itself is very weird because this bedroom right here, so the one that Ethan and Zeta are in, there's nothing above that. It's just like an empty space, so no one is above that. And then the two girls here, they're going to be up here. There's not going to be anybody below them that's going to be able to hear it. So does that make sense? Why I think that he came in the front door? I mean, I don't know. If I was going to put myself in that shoe, because then you have to like. The only thing is that whenever you come back down, you can go right out the sliding glass door instead of having to go back, around down out. I think it's because they were on his way. I don't think he knew that the bottom roommates were in these rooms or these rooms were locked. I just think that he didn't think that there was even people down there. And I think he just came around, and he just saw the bedroom and went that way. Or he did know the house, and he thought, I don't know, he spared the two bottom roommates for some reason, maybe because the door was locked, or I don't know. It's so insane, guys. Let's see if we can. I didn't watch all of it. Why is it a reenactment? Look at that. Okay, so he's doing it, and I said the guy came into the sliding glass door. Okay, I didn't see this part. This is pretty freaking awesome. So let's watch this. Just because like he's really good at this stuff. I'm gonna drop his link in the chat really quick. He's great. He's investigating. He's good. He's awesome.
Be safe out there.
That was really spooky. Angela said, calling two people. I don't know. I think it's just one person. I think two people could do too much more. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that they would be needed. This is so Let me look at this. Why is this so bad about it? I've been writing stuff down like a math. I only look at my stuff up, but I've been writing it. If you guys are just now joining us, please hit that like button. I would love to have you as a subscriber. We are a true crime channel, and we talk a little bit about life in general. So we talk a little about everything. Wasn't that creepy? You should see the one that he did on the Delphi bridge, on the Delphi case. Oh my gosh, guys, has anyone seen that? It freaked me out. I think the video is like 40 minutes long, but it's so worth the watch. Like, he knew exactly what planks they were even standing on. Like, he did the actual, like, measurements. I mean, he just did it all. Like, I don't really watch his lives too much or anything like that, but I don't really watch his lives a lot, but you know. I'm trying to fix my mic. Sorry, guys. I didn't even do this. I want to actually figure this out. It's fine. Oh, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, this is a brand new mic. I wonder, like, if I need to have it hanging or something. What else did I want to go? Earlier was an answer grace, but I really cannot believe it. Like, that whole thing like freaked me out for that. So, okay. So about what was I say? About the food truck guy, Jack, and he's supposedly he is in supposedly he's in Africa. So we heard he's in Africa. I saw this thread. I don't know if it's true, like I said, but I did see this thread on Reddit, and so I just wanted to show you guys kind of what it said. So I don't know if you guys if you guys are new to my channel, you probably don't know, but if you guys are not new to my channel, then you probably know. I am not a big fan of psychics and true crime. It's not to say that I don't believe or whatever, but I just feel like when you're on YouTube monetizing on a crime and you're saying that you're a psychic and things like that, I just don't like that shit. I just don't. It tears the family up. People, will put out the craziest stuff and they say they've seen a psychic reading and the kid is over by the river and that's where they're going to find the body they're going to find the body by a body of water or in the woods by a tree. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I saw this on Reddit and I just thought I would like share it with you. But it says it's not confirmed. No. It says it's not confirmed, but the origin of the Africa story is a psychic. So I guess a psychic is the one, and I saw this on different things on Reddit, different posts. So someone put, "What is that true?" And someone put that is the oldest instance of the rumor people have been able to find. The psychic likely went to the parents' Facebook and saw they do mission work in Africa and made it up. People have been literally circulating it as if it's real news. Hell, if it even reached actual news channels and a female presenter asked LE about it. Even Kylie's family has discussed it, though we don't know if they believed it. And then it says journalists by definition are supposed to have credible and verified sources. Shame if someone is asking about a psychic. It says, I'm assuming they just read about the rumors or anywhere on the internet and it didn't even know if it started by a psychic. Don't even know if it was started by a psychic. So I thought I would share that because I don't know where that came from. If anybody can show me where that came from, I would love to see it. Oh, hello, Jacqueline. Oh, I like your name, Jacqueline. This picture is very pretty. Welcome. I was going to say, if you would have just said hello in the chat, I would have knew you were new. I'm really good at knowing when people are new. I feel like I am. Let me read some of your guys' chat. Yeah. So that's So we saw the preview video just a minute. That thing was that animation was really good. I'm gonna drop a link if anybody wants to come up. I don't have a whole lot of time, but I have to go to the doctor today, So my voice is really raspy too. Sorry about that. My boyfriend said, he's like, you sound like you're losing your voice. I'm like, 50-50. So go ahead and probably. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this again. This is the newest update. So last night I played it on my live. It's only a couple minutes long. It's the chief, James Fry, just kind of explaining where they're at in the investigation. So let me show you guys that. And I hate that it goes this stupid little thing down here, so you might have to listen to it.
We're covering this story very closely, and breaking moments ago, brand new information from the police chief who sat down with Fox to talk about this case, the killing of these 4 young, beautiful students at the University of Idaho who were stabbed to death in their beds in their off-campus home more than 3 weeks ago.
This case is not going cold. We have tips coming in. We have investigators out every day interviewing people. We're still reviewing evidence. We're still looking at all aspects of this. And I said early on that no stone will go unturned. And I mean that. We are going to continue. This case is not going cold.
Well, we know these families want some resolution. They want this person found and convicted. Correspondent Alexis McAdams reporting live from Moscow, Idaho. Tell us, Alexis, what you learned when you sat down with the chief.
Hi, Martha. Well, first off, I mean, this was pretty much one of the first times we've been able to see the chief getting pretty emotional about this case. He went to this university. He's lived in this community for years. He has a family of his own, and he was breaking down through tears, telling me this case is personal for him, working around the clock to find the killer. Listen.
I'm a dad with daughters, and that's tough. You know, we're human. We don't go to these and just turn it off. It affects us, but we have a job to do, and we're going to continue to do that job. We're going to continue to push forward.
It's been nearly 1 month since these innocent college kids murdered here in Moscow, Idaho, in that off-campus house that still is surrounded by crime tape, Martha. Investigators tell me they're interviewing people every single day, looking for information that helps them piece this together and really trying to figure out the timeline of the night when these students were murdered. Now we're learning more about people and theories that investigators are ruling out for now. Police tell me they did interview 2 guys in connection to a tip that Kaylee Gonsalves had a stalker in town. This stemmed from an incident back in October when Kaylee told some of her friends that a guy was following her around a local business and it creeped her out enough that she told her friends. Police don't believe those people are connected to the murders. Now, another update involving Kaylee's dog, which you can see here in this TikTok video that she posted a while back. Investigators say her dog was in the house at the time of the murders, but had no evidence on it. So they don't believe, Martha, it was in any of the rooms when the crime was committed. Back out here live in front of the police department. Once again, that chief breaking down, wanting the community, and most importantly, Martha, wanting the families like Kaylee's dad to know they're doing everything they can to find the killer. And they say just because they're not releasing so much information doesn't mean they don't have it.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Did you get a sense from him that
they know things that they are not allowed to share at this point? I mean, what's your sense of how, do they seem to be lost at this point for ideas or really honing in on something?
Yeah, great question. And actually, from what we've been able to gather from the police here on the ground is that they've got a pretty good timeline and they've got a pretty good amount of information. They say if they didn't have information, that's when they would go to the public and say some of these little bits and pieces more about who they think this person is, what this person might have, if they left on foot, if this person even is a man or woman, little things that we asked if they could confirm. They said not right now because we're on the right track. We've got a lot of evidence and we feel good about the direction this case is heading.
We know that Kaylee's mom said that she was afraid that the killer would show up at the memorial service and that they needed to pay more attention to some of the people that were dismissed and cleared. And I know we saw that soundbite a moment ago. He said nobody is cleared forever, right?
Exactly, yeah. Just because they're talking to these people who are coming in, even to the police department by day when we're here, these college students, they're saying that just because they talk to them doesn't mean they're not going to re-interview them, Martha.
Well, that's great work. Thank you very much.
Sorry that video wasn't that good. Every time I go to play a video, sometimes like it'll like make it small, and then I like try to make it big, and it's just a mess. So I just left it like that. Good afternoon, public art critic. You're new. I like your name. Oh, I like your name. Welcome everybody. Actually, that's coming in. That's new. If you want to subscribe to the channel, we would love to have you. We are a true crime channel. I come on live in the mornings. Normally in the mornings, it's just more of like kind of like a podcast. I don't really have my camera on, but we talk all things true crime. And then I usually come back on in the afternoon and I show you guys my beautiful face. I'm just kidding. But I do come back on and I usually have my camera on. I don't know. Some channels do strictly like no camera really, and I just don't like that. I feel like it's not as personal. So I try to come back on and always talk to you guys in person, like over the computer, of course. Yeah, exactly. SRB, 4 people on a live take some time to investigate. You're absolutely right. It's gonna take some time. It's not like they've been saying it's not like a CSI thing where it's an hour-long show and it's done, which I understand that, but in the same token, they give us all of these like indications that they can do this in a little amount of time like that. So let me check to make sure there's nothing that I've missed on Twitter or anything, and then we'll watch the Nancy Grace podcast because it is kind of longer. It's a little longer, so I just wanted to get everything else out of the way. Let's see. I don't see anything. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I don't really see anything on there, so. Oh, but I wanted to let you guys know there's a TikTok out there. It's called let me see here. Crime Among Us. I'm gonna go through those TikToks later on today with you guys because like they're insane. They're really good like footage of everything that's kind of been going on, and it's all like I don't know. It's all just it looks interesting, so I wanted to show you guys. Let me see here. I'm gonna get the podcast ready to play. I just wanted to put a different picture in the background. So that way you have something better to look at than just a picture of, Nancy. If I can. So we're going to try. It's my first time doing this, so I am just learning. I'm still learning, guys. Okay. So I'll be in the chat too to talk to you guys as this is playing. So, and if you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll stop it. And I'll stop it probably throughout as well, just to kind of discuss what's going on.
This.
And let me know if you guys can hear it. Okay. I want to make sure you can hear everything. Okay.
This hour, we are tracking breaking news. Just a moment ago, Moscow police confirmed 4 people were found dead in a home just steps away from the University of Idaho campus. Right now, we're continuing to work to get more details tonight. We know that students were ordered to shelter in place for a time this afternoon because of the scene's proximity to campus. Breaking news out of Moscow, Idaho. The bodies of 4 University of Idaho students discovered in a house just steps away from campus. Those students were discovered just yesterday afternoon in a neighborhood near Greek Row on campus. Earlier today, the university released the identities of the victims found in that house. 20-year-old Ethan Chapin from Conway, Washington.
No, I didn't. I didn't see that. So, anyone see the police body cam at a field nearby at 2:55 a.m.? No, I haven't seen that. If you know where it's at, let me know and I can pull it up. You think a frat brother's responsible? Encyclopedia of True Crime and the Unknown? Could be. And you guys can hear me okay, right? Because I'm like not on the stream, but I am on the stream. Because sometimes it won't let me Sometimes it doesn't let me talk in the mic, so let me know if I'm muted or anything as well. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Let's see. So many tabs, guys. So many tabs.
21-year-old Madison Mogan from Coeur d'Alene, 20-year-old Xana Zerdodal from Post Falls, and 21-year-old Kaylee Gonzalez from Rathdrum, Idaho.
New information about the quadruple murder of these young students. According to Steve Gonsalves, the father of Keely, he says, quote, the murders were fast, no one suffered or felt pain. He shares how his daughter came home in an urn. Listen.
Steve Gonsalves, the father of one of the victims, 21-year-old Kaylee, now shedding new light on what happened that night in his first sit-down interview.
It was fast, and nobody suffered and nobody felt like that kind of pain.
Officials maintain the murders happened between 3 and 4 a.m. and that the first 911 call was made around noon. Just hours later, Steve was informed of his daughter's death, not by police, but by family members on campus.
Let's call Maddie. And then you realize Maddie's gone too.
Madison Mogan was Kaylee's lifelong best friend.
You can't imagine sending your girl to college and then they come back in a, I don't know, in an urn.
And now, the families of the victims growing frustrated by the lack of answers.
I haven't earned the ability to grieve the way that I want to grieve. I want to be able to have justice first.
That from our friends at GMA. As pressure is mounting and fears swirling the university community, we still have no line on a suspect. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. We do know, however, certain individuals have been ruled out. Take a listen to Captain Roger Lanier.
We do not believe the following individuals are involved in this crime. The 2 surviving roommates, a male seen at the grub truck food vendor downtown, specifically wearing a white hoodie, a private party who provided rides home to Kaylee and Madison in the early morning hour of November 13th. Additionally, the identity of the 911 caller and the 911 call have not been released. So any information out there is speculation about that.
Joining me in All-Star panel to make sense of what we know right now, we do know the 911 call has not yet been released. And in the last hours, Chief James Fry from the Moscow Police tries to answer that question. Listen.
Scotty Schwartz, NBC News, just following up on the 911 call. You said that you don't believe that's the killer. Can you conclusively rule out the person that called 911 from inside the home as a suspect in this case?
You may just ask that one more time, please.
Yeah, the person that was inside the home that called 911 that was not one of the roommates. Can you conclusively rule that person out as a suspect at this point?
I don't think I said that it wasn't one of the roommates. I said that it was used with the roommate's phone.
I believe somebody asked if that was the killer, and you said no.
No, that's correct.
Bottom line, the 911 call has not yet been released. So what do we know? First of all, to Nicholas Bogle-Burrows, national reporter of New York Times, joining us. He is there on the scene in Moscow. Nicholas, thank you for being with us. What is the latest? Seemingly all the news we're getting out of Idaho is that we don't have any news.
Yeah, I mean, this investigation is now in the 3rd week. Students are coming back to campus in Moscow. A lot of them told me yesterday they're really scared. They are taking all kinds of extra precautions, but like you're saying, the police have really given no solid information about, who might have done this or why at this point.
I want to go straight out to a special guest joining us, Kathleen Canning Mello, former FBI unit chief, 31 years, 10 of those with the Behavioral Analysis Unit, currently at Structure University, North Carolina, Wilmington. Kathleen, thank you so much for being with us. I know you just heard our friend from the New York Times joining us from Moscow. He's saying we don't know who the suspect could be. Now, compared to you, we're all amateurs, but I think we can go out on a limb and say it is a white male, because typically killers kill within their own race, and because women typically, statistically, do not commit mass murder with a knife, which narrows it down to a white male, within the orbit of at least one of these 4 victims. You're the expert. I want to hear your analysis.
To me, all of the information thus far points to a mass killing event. So what do we know about mass killings? Mass killings are the killings of 3 or more people during an event with no cooling off period, right? And what is the motive for mass killing? Typically, it's a revenge motive, which is, I think, why the police came out early saying it's a targeted attack. And oftentimes the initial stimulus for this uncontained rage of
I mean, we've had bar fights and murders on that type of, behavior and that response.
I want to also clarify the difference between an incel, which Kathleen Canning Mello mentioned, involuntary celibate. That theory has come up several times. There is the killer, an involuntary celibate who basically sees the world through the lens of misogyny, hating women. And, it's really odd. My son and daughter, they're twins and 15, and my son came home the other day and was talking about one of his friends who seems perfectly wonderful. And the friend said, all women are liars. They're all deceivers. Because he basically got turned down a couple of times for HOCO, translation, homecoming. All right. So, and he's just a kid already thinking women are deceivers. And I've been researching incels, and they have names, stereotypical names, like someone is a Stacy, certain guys, jocks have their name, and it's just fueled with hatred. I'm not so sure this is an incel, since they're few and far between that actually commit murder, or someone that, as Dr. Jory Cralson and Kathleen Canning Mello were pointing out, were, and I'm using quotes, insulted. Probably not really insulted, but in their minds they were insulted or rejected.
When you love riding a motorcycle,
Okay, yeah.
you ride it
I think there's like commercials.
Let's check your weight.
So we'll just listen to the commercial. I may have just taken myself off the stream for just a second, and that might have been why it muted it for a minute. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just like so confused on life with StreamYard sometimes. And I have like the best plan on there too. It's like, I don't even know. It's a lot. Okay, I think she's coming back on. I'm going to take some notes too.
Author of Blood Beneath My Feet on Amazon and star of the hit series Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. Joe Scott, you heard Kathleen and Dr. Jory speaking. How does their analysis jive with what we know about the scene?
Well, from my perspective, what I'm taking away from this is that I believe that the individual showed up purposed. They had this knife because they're given a very specific description of this weapon. I think that they showed up with this weapon in hand in order to essentially commit a slaughter in here.
So you think they showed up meaning to kill more than one person, or meaning to kill the target?
I think probably killing the target. I think perhaps that everybody else was peripheral, but while they were there, I don't know if someone alerted to the presence.
Joe Scott, wait a minute, hold on. I need your analysis. But to Nicholas Bogle Burrows, joining me, national reporter, New York Times, there on the scene. Nicholas, I want to analyze what Joe Scott just said. I don't see how the others could be alerted because, based on what the coroner said, some of them were asleep, some of them fought back, some of them obviously were in bed at the time. So if they had been alerted, they would have still been in bed, would they? I mean, are you getting any information? What can you tell us or refresh our recollection regarding where the victims were?
Right. So this home in Moscow, it's just off campus. It's a 3-story home. There are 2 bedrooms on each floor. And what we've heard from the authorities is that all 4 victims were found on the 2nd and 3rd floors. We don't know exactly which bedrooms. And we know that the coroner has said that she believes that they were likely all sleeping at the time of the attack. She has also said that at least one of them appeared to have fought back. So what that means to me is that they were all asleep when this attack occurred, but maybe one of them woke up during the attack and tried to defend themselves. But we know that there were the 2 surviving roommates elsewhere in the home, and that, as I'm sure you've talked about it a lot, they did not realize that this had happened until hours later.
And so, based on what Nicholas Bogle-Burrows is stating, Joe Scott, I don't think they were alerted because they were still in their beds.
And plus, you have to think about the structure of the split level, Nancy.
That's really interesting. If we could get our control room to show, there's one particular picture, Jackie, if you could send that again right now. And it's really good, Joe Scott. It shows, you can look at this house, and David Leroy joining me, high-profile lawyer out of Boise, Idaho, former Idaho Attorney General, former Lieutenant Governor, former prosecutor. You can find him at dleroy.com. David, you're very familiar with this house. You've been in the house. And I noticed that, David, if you look at it from one angle, you're coming in on the floor where there's a sliding glass door. You don't really even see the bottom floor. If you come in from the first level, there's two ways to get to it. The first level, you see the, I guess call it the front door with the code you have to use to get in. I believe the killer came in through the second level, which was also ground level. I like that picture, Haley, where it shows level 1, 2, and 3. I mean, the sliding glass door on the second level was actually at ground level, as was the first floor front door. But you come, it's a split level home, you come in from two vantage points, from two entrances. And I believe the killer never went downstairs to the, I guess I would say, basement level, where the other two roommates were asleep. David Leroy, usually I'm coming to you for legal analysis, but you have actually been here at this home. Could you describe any better what I'm trying to say?
No, Nancy, your deduction is very logical. What is not always apparent in the photographs, but is likely in the one you're showing, is that this house is set against a hill. So it has, with a rather steep incline, a front part structure, rectangular in nature, and then a back part that's almost two structures built together. And there are two ground level entries. It's just that they're on different levels. The second, third level, the sliding door you're talking about being perhaps 8 or 10 feet higher than that lower level with the pad that you call the front door. It is a split level residence, but almost two residences in the way it's constructed.
And I think that's led to a lot of confusion. Nicholas Bogle-Burrows is with us there on the scene from the New York Times. He is a national reporter for them. Nicholas, you really have to look at it from both angles to see what we're talking about. But I kept, turning this around like a Rubik's Cube until I saw the correct angle. Because I guarantee you, Nicholas, this guy, and it is a male, entered through that sliding glass door. I don't believe he had the code. And I think he, since this is a rage killing, very likely was ungloved and left fingerprints. And that it doesn't match up, the prints don't match up to anybody or DNA in CODIS or APHIS, because he's not a convict. He's never been convicted of anything. Could you describe the structure of the home, Nicholas?
Yeah, absolutely. I was there yesterday. It is very much on a steep hill. I think that is important. So you have the front door and the driveway, and that goes into the first floor. But then if you go up another roadway to a kind of parking lot for an apartment complex nearby, you can see that there's this sliding glass door to the second floor, and also a kind of patio area where they seem to have a couch and a chair, and seem to be a nice spot to hang out outside that second floor sliding door. So I think, the police have not said anything about where the killer might have entered, but obviously those are two obvious places where that could have happened. And all of this is happening just in this very tight-knit college town area right under, a water tower with the University of Idaho logo. It's all just right in this kind of central area next to campus.
Well, I think it does tell me something about the killer, Joe Scott Morgan. Everybody, again, this is not high tea at Windsor Castle. Jump in. Joe Scott, it is telling me something, because if the perp did not know the code to the front door and came in through the sliding glass door, that tells me he was tangentially involved in the victim's lives. If we accept that the killer is in one of their spheres, likely, since we've got 3 dead females and 1 dead male, likely in one of the 3 female victims' lives. But he wasn't close enough to know the code.
Nancy, this is Dave Leroy.
What? Jump in, David.
Nancy, you need to recall the intimate setting of this small college town, and if the profilers are correct, if Kathleen's predictions and the other speculations from various sources are correct, it should be possible in a town of 25,000 people and a campus of 11,500, all geographically very contiguous, to see somebody of that profile who suddenly has left town, who suddenly has changed their routine. I'm very hopeful, if these profiles are correct, that though we may not have analyzed the scene evidence to some particular person, some of these tangential things or some of these leaks that hopefully will be developed can perhaps very swiftly lead to a suspect meeting those profiles. And another thing that I think is news is there's an incredible amount of resources, an unprecedented amount of resources being applied by law enforcement, by Idaho standards to this case. The Moscow PD has 24 officers, and they're all working on it, 4 detectives. The Idaho State Police Department out of Boise has detailed their mobile forensic unit up there and has 20 investigators available. And significantly, the FBI out of 3 or 4 field offices and a laboratory in Virginia has 44 agents available to work on this case as well. So if the profilers are correct, somebody will pop up and perhaps we can marry up the scene evidence to that person in the near future.
Everybody, I want you to take a listen to a theory I've developed so far. And please jump in. I believe this is going to be a white male, local, just as in Delphi. Now, we know that day there was a huge football game, and in that stadium, which holds 16,000 people, the seats were packed. But if we go with the premise this was targeted, that large group of people would be irrelevant to who this killer is. In other words, it's not increasing the suspect pool. If we believe that this was targeted by someone within one of the girls' spheres, local white male, likely with cuts, bruises, and scratches, they cannot account for that time of the killing. Someone that one of the girls knew at school or work, someone that did not show up for school or work following it, someone connected to them but not convicted, someone that would own a camping, military, hiking type knife, someone on foot, not a peeping Tom, because this goes beyond the violence we would normally get from a peeping Tom that graduates to a greater crime. With no evidence so far of a stalker, okay? We would have gotten that from emails or texts or phone calls. We don't have that. That's who I think the killer is going to be. And isn't it true, Nicholas Bogle-Burroughs, joining us in the New York Times, police have ruled out any connection between the skinning of a dog a couple of miles away prior to the murders and 3 other stab victims from 2 stabbing incidents. All of those have been ruled not connected. Is that correct, Nicholas?
Right. There's been so much speculation around this case, of course, that the police have spent a lot of time in their public statements trying to dispel these rumors. So, like you said, there's been cases elsewhere, I believe one in Oregon, that the police have had to come out and say we don't see anything that leads us to believe there's a connection. And they've also spent a lot of time, as you mentioned, with the death of a dog. Elsewhere, they believe that was caused by another animal. They've also spent a lot of time talking about suspects that they have apparently ruled out. So there was a man in a hoodie at a food truck that 2 of the victims, Maddie and Kaylee, went to on the night of the attacks. And, the kind of internet sleuth community, of course, has tried to pin down, who could have done this, but in doing so, they've kind of put out a lot of names that the police have ended up saying, we don't think that person is connected to this. So that person was among them. The person who gave two of the victims a ride home, two surviving roommates, and there's about 5 more people that the police have come out and said we don't believe they have a connection to this.
Guys, a piece of the puzzle that may become critical. Take a listen to our cut 65, Kana Whitworth.
In a case like this, though, where the victims and the survivors were all so active on social media, is that helpful to the investigation to learn about them and their friends and their lives?
Well, I think it's both helpful, and it also just enlarges the investigation overall. It just has more people for us to try to contact and try to get information on the evening in question, and just be able to do a full analysis and review of the case.
Straight out to special guest joining us, Kathleen Canning-Mello, former FBI unit chief for 31 years, 10 of those assigned to the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit, now in Stroger, North Carolina. Kathleen, what can we learn from social media about these victims and the potential perpetrator?
Absolutely, the police and FBI investigators are going through all of their social media with a fine-tooth comb, and I would go back weeks or even months trying to examine, identify the people within their network, try to identify their patterns over the last couple of weeks and people that they have encountered. And you would imagine this is such a data-driven sort of investigation as well, in terms of cell phone data and other ring camera video, CCTV. This is why it's taking a while to go through all that digital evidence, because it requires expertise, right? We need computer forensic examiners to go through a lot of this data, to recover missing data from a lot of the devices. It takes time and it takes expertise. So I understand the frustration, but it certainly is necessary for the investigators to go through all of their social media contacts in all of their phones and all of their photographs in order to try to piece together and maybe identify this person.
Right. I mean, I'm curious as to what they would be looking for.
Okay, I think it's commercial. Yeah, it is. Actually, let me make sure before I start talking. Never mind.
Friend of them who was on their Snapchat map, who was snapping with them. There's so many things to look at. Who had liked or disliked something or unfriended them. There's so many levels of seeming intimacy online that's not real. And I guarantee you, if this was somebody in their sphere, they're looking at their Insta, they're looking at their story, as it's called. I believe that may hold a key.
Yeah, it could, but we got to consider one other thing. This is unlike any other kind of community that this could have happened in. We're talking about a university community. These kids that populate the student body, they're already looking toward Thanksgiving break, okay? And then you have this horrific event that occurs. And even by the admission of the president of the university, he said that some kids might not come back. Well, one of the problems this poses for the local police is the fact that these kids have left, Nancy, and you know better than anybody. There is something that you get when an eye-to-eye interview with individuals where you're sitting across the table from them and you can cue them, you can get illicit information from them. There's a potential they're going to miss something here, because even those individuals that didn't have direct contact with these poor victims, they might see something or they might have heard something that now has lost all context. We're now 2 weeks down range from this. These kids have gone home. Some of them have not come back. They've offered for them to take online classes. That's no fault of the university. That's just the reality, and this is the big obstacle, I think, that the police are facing in this case.
Guys, that would explain if the killer left immediately after the killing. It could all be chalked up to leaving out of fear, lost in the shuffle, maybe never returning. This is a very transient community. People come in and out depending on, do they graduate? Do they lay out a quarter? Are they leaving for work? Are they going to come back? Are they picking up summer classes? That entirely compounds the difficulty of trying to locate the killer. As of right now, no motive, no murder weapon, no suspect. On top of it all, we are learning that the families are rankling, the families of the victims, because of lack of information. Take a listen to our cut 63, our friend Jonathan Vigliotti.
Police are keeping details they do have under lock and key, including audio of the 911 call, the names of the surviving roommates, and the names of those at the house who spoke to dispatchers during the call, citing case integrity. The lack of information is a pain point for Kaylee Gonsalvez's already grieving family.
We all want to play a part in helping, and we can't play a part if we don't have any real substantial information to work from.
Detectives did dispel rumors that the victims were tied up and addressed claims that Gonsalves had a stalker.
So far, we have not been able to corroborate it, but we're not done looking into that piece of information.
Oh, well, the roommates have been named. Isn't it Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk? Aren't those the names, Nicholas?
Those names are out there. I'm not sure that that's come from the police, but I know that the victims had posted on social media with those two students.
I would be curious. Dr. Jory Carlson joining me, psychologist, faculty, St. Leo University, and author of Operation SOS. Dr. Jory, do you believe the killer acted as a methodical serial killer such as BTK? I mean, there's a big difference in a mass killer or spree killer and a serial killer. Do you think he would have thought to take a trophy with him, or was he hastily leaving the scene of the slaughter?
I think he was hastily leaving as a mass killer, not a serial killer. I would even venture to say that he's left the area, and I would say that he probably left right after that, got out of the area.
Okay, we know there was no theft. We know there was no sex assault. We know now that the victims were not bound or gagged in any way. I want to follow up on the fact that the families are upset they're not getting enough information. Nicholas Bogle-Burrows with me, national reporter, New York Times. It's not the police duty or law enforcement to spoon feed us, the media, information. But regarding the victims' families, that's a whole nother can of worms. You have to stay in touch with the victims' families. What are we learning about police refusal to release info to victims' families?
Right. Well, all indications have been that they have received not much more information than has been provided publicly. Kaylee's family has spoken about, I think her older sister, Olivia Gonsalves, has really kind of turned into an investigator herself. She was going through, her sister's phone account and looking at who she had called. She was looking at this live stream from the food truck before just about anyone, and she's really gone into investigator mode and is intent on solving the murder of her own sister. And I think their father, Stephen Gonsalves, has said recently that they are really not getting much more information than the public and are expecting fewer updates as this drags on.
To David Leroy, high-profile lawyer out of Idaho, who is intimately familiar with this home, who has been in the home and knows the area very well. David, we also are told by police they're convinced that this was a targeted attack. This wasn't burglary gone wrong or a rape attempt gone wrong, but targeted. So that leads me to the question, how do they know it's a targeted attack? They're not releasing that information, but think about it. Was one targeted? Two? All four? Most likely one. Why would they say one person was targeted? Were their wounds different? Was their body treated differently than the others? Did they have more wounds than the others? For instance, was their body staged? And what I mean by that is, was a blanket or a sheet pulled up over their face? Any movement of the scene post-mortem is staging. Why do you think, David Leroy, you've handled plenty of murder cases, that police are insisting this was targeted against one of these victims?
The word targeted became initially associated with this homicide that they're now calling the King Road homicides. Very, very early. In fact, it was perhaps within almost minutes of when this first dialogue began that this began to be called a targeted killing. I think they have stayed with that, partially because the original focus on just one household and 4 people and utterly shocking events in a small community appeared to be unlikely to repeat itself to the general public in any near-term future. And perhaps it is entirely consistent now as they continue to use that with the profiling that we're discussing on the program today. I don't think they know yet, or at least they haven't indicated yet, that it was targeted to any one person or that it was any more targeted than we have already learned. On the other hand, it remains something that is utterly unlikely to pose a general threat to the community in Moscow, as we have discussed.
Until the killer's call, I think that there is a threat. To Kathleen County Mello, why do you believe police have insisted this is targeting? I mean, David Leroy seems to suggest that they labeled it as targeted at the get-go, so now they're stuck with their own words. I disagree.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the motivation, right? And we're considering the motivation, as we've discussed today, as a revenge motive. So that seems to me, it directly ties into some kind of a target, right? The offender wants revenge against one or more persons. We don't know at this point whether this was one or more victims that were the target of this attack. But it seems logical to me that this revenge was the motive and one or more of those victims was the target of the attack.
Jessica Morgan, it doesn't make sense to me that all 4 are the target. It would make more sense that one is the target. And if so, let's just follow this through to its logical conclusion. How would they determine this was targeted? What could be different about one of the bodies?
The level of violence involved specifically, and a lot has been made of this, because the term multiple has been used, multiple stab wounds. I think the coroner let that slip out, to be quite honest with you. I was
too, Joe Scott. I was stunned.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say? That the coroner in the lab? Now, let me remind everybody, this coroner is not a medical doctor. She is not a medical examiner. A 4-year degree, and what did I tell you? It was, Joe Scott, was it English?
Yeah, I think so.
And then a JD. She has a lawyer's degree. She's a registered nurse. Also has a history as a registered nurse.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys knew that, but she is a registered nurse. The lady that the coroner that went on all of the lives and all of the news syndications and stuff, vindication, sorry. So she's just a registered nurse. But I guess anybody can be a coroner. I didn't know that. And public art critic, I think one person could do this. And this is almost over, and then I'm going to go over some of the stuff in the chat. I think we only have a couple more minutes on this, and then it'll be over with. Yeah, 3 more minutes.
That said, take a listen to our cut 46. This is the county coroner, Kathy Mabbitt.
Most of them had just one that was the lethal stab wound. Yes.
Can you describe what that one might have been?
Fatal ones were to the chest area or the upper body area.
Were there, and I only ask this because it sometimes determines what kind of a crime this was, a crime of passion, a random crime, a fight, a struggle. Was there, were any of them slashed? Were any of their necks cut? Or were these all puncture wounds?
Well, it was a pretty large knife, so it's really hard to call them puncture wounds. And they were definitely stabbings. And it has to be somebody that's pretty angry in order to stab 4 people to death.
As a county coroner speaking to our friends over at News Nation, Joe Scott, I like you, was very taken aback that the coroner issued the statement, gave an interview during an ongoing investigation. But did you hear her words? Most of them had her words just like one that was a lethal stab wound. Most of them, not all of them, had one lethal stab wound. Decipher, Joe Scott.
Well, yeah, and then you factor in this idea of defensive wounds because, defensive wounds can come in any number.
How was one body treated differently than the other bodies? Why do we think this was targeted?
Yeah, well, for me personally, if you're asking me if I could examine the bodies, I would take a look and see who had sustained the most trauma.
Exactly.
Because, going to what Dr. Jory said, this is an indication of rage, perhaps. And I'm not a psychotherapist, but when you see somebody that attempts to really destroy somebody with a knife, that gives you an indication of purpose.
Nicholas Bogle-Burrows there on the scene, national reporter, New York Times. What is the mood on campus right now as some students return?
So yesterday was the first day back for students after this had all happened. Many of them had left early for Thanksgiving break following this tragedy. And so I spoke with a lot of students yesterday, and many of them are afraid. They're texting their roommates and making sure that they're coming back if they are, so that they're not alone. They're staying inside at night. They're walking in pairs. One woman told me she even was planning to get pepper spray for Christmas this year as a gift. A lot of them were grateful for the police around campus. Multiple people pointed that out to me, but they are all just getting flooded with calls from their parents, from friends, checking in on them at all times.
Sure. Tip line 208-883-7054. Repeat, 208-883-7054. Goodbye, friend.
When out hunting, First Energy wants you to stay safe by staying away from utility equipment.
Sorry.
Structures like trees.
I don't know how to get that off of here. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry. I don't even know where, okay, yeah, I don't even know where it went, so. Can you guys hear me? I'm going to take this off of here. Whoops. Okay, so that was the end of Nancy. I'm trying to think. I wanted to show you guys something, I think. Let me see. So there's a couple things I wanted to just go over. So Nancy thinks, and I kind of think a little bit like her. She believes that it's a white male that's local. I believe those two things as well. Let me get back in the chat, sorry. Okay, awesome. Thank you, SRB. And then, yeah, because for some reason oh, here it is. Okay, it's in my Apple Music. Oh my gosh. I'm still learning this computer too, guys. I'm not good with the MacBook. So anyways, so she believes it's a white male local. She believes that, it was busy that game day. Maybe something had to do with that. They would be injured, no alibi. Someone that they knew, maybe from school. She believes that they were connected, that they owned a knife, that they were on foot, and that they weren't a peeping Tom. My dogs were barking at something. I don't know what they were barking at. So, I believe so. I believe most of that, actually all of it. Let me see. Yeah. I believe all of that. I believe that was a pretty good assessment. So I wanted to show you guys that. Hopefully they don't dox me, whatever, because half of my freaking lives have been getting limited monetization because I show you guys, news clips and stuff, which I don't understand because other channels show news clips. I mean, usually it seems like a lot of channels will show something, a day or so after me, and I don't hear them saying that they're getting not monetized for it. So that kind of sucks, but I don't care because I want to show you guys those things. I think they're very important. So why would I not show you the important things? Especially when it's something that has to do with the facts of the case. Where is Jack S from? That I don't know. I'm going to assume that he might be from the college area. Like he might be from that area right there. But I'm not sure where he's from. Maybe somebody in the chat would know. Also, if you guys are just now joining us, welcome. Hello. We've been going at it for an hour and 41 minutes now. If you guys haven't caught the first half of the live, we made some revelations, I feel like. I feel like it was a really good first half. I feel like it's been a really good second half, but the first half was really good as well. So make sure you go back and you watch it and hashtag replay for me. If you could please like this video. I don't have mods, so I don't have mods in my chat to tell you guys, to join the membership or to like the video or all of those things. So that's what I'm here to do. So if you guys could just like the video as you come in, it's free to do, and it really helps my channel grow tremendously. It really does help, and I appreciate every single one of you. If you guys haven't noticed, he's from Boise. Thank you, Heidi D. Pursley. Oh, I like your avatar. That's so cute. Or is that you as an avatar? I'm blind in one eye, so forgive me. But oh my gosh, it's so cute. Thank you, Princess Elsa. You're the best. Oh, Boise, Idaho. Yeah, Boise, Idaho. Yeah, okay. So from the same area, or not like the same area, but from Idaho. Okay. Rumors are going around that he's related to a politician. Wow. Well, I heard that his parents are both surgeons. But in that video, we were looking. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys are new that are coming in. But in the video of the food truck, I showed a blown up version of it, where Maddie is pointing and saying "F you" to what looked like everyone thought was the gentleman in the hat. I believe, though, she was pointing and saying it to Joe Vidit, the guy in the tan shirt, because she looks like she's pointing right at him a couple different times, and she calls him Mr. So that just is kind of strange to me. If she knew Jack, which everyone thinks she did, she would have said "F you, Jack," not "F you, Mr." So I don't know. I feel like that's important. So if you haven't watched the first half of the video, make sure you go and watch it. Oh, thank you, Princess Elsa. I think you're amazing as well. I really do. I really love my chat so much. That's why I do so many lives, guys. I just love y'all. I was writing down notes, but I can't even read my own dang handwriting. That's sad. Oh, so I wonder if they're going to check when the students come back to school. This is so crazy that this case is going on right off of a campus where there's so many kids going back and forth from, Thanksgiving break to Christmas break to all of that, and those are long extended breaks. So I just feel like that's crazy. I wonder if the school is keeping an eye out for students that aren't going to return, after Christmas break. That may be telling. I'm not sure, but it's something to think about. If the dean is listening, I don't think he is, but if he is, you should check that out, because maybe that person will, not enroll back in school. So you looked at some photos of Jackass when he was wrestling in high school. Oh wow, I didn't know he was a wrestler. Oh, actually, maybe I did hear that. I don't know. I heard he was adopted and his parents are doctors / consultants, but only heard that on YouTube. Public art critic. I heard that on YouTube as well, that he was adopted. I heard that they had like 5 adopted children, but that's just what I heard. I haven't been able to, sleuth on him too much yet. There's just so much information coming out. And I have like 14 more tabs open since we're watching that video, because I want to do another one tonight. That's okay. Oh, wait, let me go back up to the chat, because I wanted to talk about. I know one of you guys said your question hadn't been answered. Let me see, guys. Sorry. Maybe I went too far up. Maybe if you guys can help me. Someone was like, they said they asked in the chat, but the question wasn't answered. Maybe it was Miss Linda. I can't remember. No, it wouldn't have been. Maybe it was SRB. I don't know. So, yeah, Xana's dad's fixed the locks, and I'm going to go back over that because y'all know how I feel about that back door with those chairs blocking that back door. People were saying that's because the lock was broken, but why didn't Xana's dad fix the lock on the back door if he was there fixing her bedroom door lock? I'm sorry, but a back door lock is more important than a bedroom door lock, but we're going to go over that later. We're going to go over all of that later. It's me, breast cancer awareness. Oh, I love it because the pink hair. LL. Y'all definitely should deep dive into the JS family. I'm going to have to. If you have any information you can send me, I would love that. I would take it. My email is TitaniumBuiltBoo@gmail.com. I'm good at like looking stuff up on. I need to get like maybe do like a background check on some people or something. I was always the person in school, like, okay, so it's so bad that I'm in true crime, but and this was me. I was always the person in school that didn't like sleuth on people. My best friend did. She was like the damn FBI. To this day, she still is. I should call her. I need to call Misty. Yeah. Okay, I'll write that down. She'll have all kinds of info for us guys. I'm not even kidding you. This girl, like, she has access to like different things because of her partner is like deep into some like, you know, law enforcement stuff, so she can really like look into people. I was talking to her when I first started dating my boyfriend. Side note, when I first started talking and dating my boyfriend, we were dating my boyfriend, and I was on the phone with her, and within 5 minutes of talking to her, she had already knew like where he lived, his address, his phone number, his parents, and he's from LA and we live in Ohio now. So mind you, she didn't even know this. She knew how much his house was worth. She knew just details. She knew his family's names. I'm like, what are you doing, girl? And she's like, I'm just looking out for you. And I thought that was just so sweet because, you know, she's my girl. So let me see. What else did I write down? And then there was someone else like talking about like the grieving process and stuff. I think that like with Xana's mom and dad not coming on TV and stuff like that, I feel like they're just grieving differently. They're not together, you know, they're a split family. This ain't like a Gabby Petito kind of deal where they're going to come together and be a beautiful blended family, because in real life you don't really see that as much. But I wish they would kind of come out a little bit more, but I feel like I feel bad for Xana's mom in the way that I don't know if you guys heard her interview, but I know that she is hurting right now. I just know she is, but she didn't know anything about her daughter. Like not a thing. She didn't know where her room was located in the house. She didn't know what kind of car that she drove. She didn't know if she had Arizona license plates. She didn't know. She stated that she was going to come see Xana because she was asked when the last time she saw her daughter was. And she said she was going to go see her 3 weeks ago, but Xana was in school. Well, that makes no damn sense because you would schedule around school if you were expected to go see somebody. I'm not trying to say anything bad about her, but I'm just saying, like, I feel bad for her because I feel like she doesn't have that opportunity now to get to know her daughter. She may sober up. You know, she was in, you know, jail and stuff for controlled substances and things like that. She's been in and out. You know, if she did turn her life around, she's not going to get that chance with her daughter now. You know, she's just not. So I feel bad for her. I really do. And then Xana's dad, I thought he did do one interview because I thought he stated that he changed the locks. I thought I heard him say it before I heard Xana's mom say it. I need to start saving all of the interviews that I hear. And then also, I have a question for you guys. Because you guys are a new group of people. I asked last night. I think you guys are a new group. The private driver that took Maddie and Kaylee home that night, right? The private driver. Does anybody remember the interview? I remember hearing this in an interview, and I know I wasn't dreaming it. I don't think. But they said it was Kaylee's dad said, someone asked them, who was the private driver that took Kaylee and Maddie home that night? And they said it was a sorority sister that was like the DD for the weekend or whatever. She was like the designated, like designed, like person, like you're here, you know, they like switch out every week kind of deal. Does anybody remember that interview? Because everybody talks, Joe Vidic, everyone says he picked him up. But in that interview, I swear I heard her dad say, or her sister or somebody say, it was a sorority sister that picked them up. And I was looking through interviews after interviews last night. I could not find it. Did Jack Showalter drive 5 hours at 2 a.m.? Is he in Africa or is that a rumor? So, okay, I had that. Let me see if I have that up still for you. This is all like speculation, so because it's on Reddit. But I shared this early. I shared this in the beginning of my live, so make sure you guys go back and check the beginning of my live because there was a lot of really good things that we pointed out. Really, really good things. I feel like, but we did. This isn't one of them. But this was kind of interesting anyway. But no, it just says that they thought that the origin of the African story is a psychic. So I don't know where that really came from. But it just says right there, you know, that it was a psychic that, and then they said like throughout there, I read this whole thing in the beginning of my live, but it just says, what is this true? And it says that's the oldest instance of the rumor people have been able to find. The psychic likely went to the parents' Facebook and saw that they do mission work in Africa and made it up. So that's what I got out of that. Oh, and then Heidi said after the Pike County trial and GW4 conviction. Oh yeah, George Wagner, the 4th conviction. My ADHD has sent me in a spiral. I listen, read, etc. Then serious that hyper focused with JS and Sigma Chi. Yeah, no, or Sigma Chi. No, I have ADHD too. It's terrible, and OCD. It's it's a bunch of things. But the Pike County trial, if you haven't watched my videos on that, I did do a video on the story, you know, the whole story, because I grew up about 30 miles from there. So I've been invested in that case since 2016 when it happened. I'm so glad that they're getting conviction for that. It was terrible. That family, 8 members in one family, gone in one night by another family over custody of a child. The child was in the room with one of the parents that they killed. It's a terrible story. I do have it on my it's in my videos. I probably did that video 3 months ago. So it's one of my older ones. So, you know, just being gentle with me. I don't know. It was a good video. Then I did excuse me. Whenever the verdict came out, I sat there with my phone for 30 minutes and recorded my iPad, and then I didn't even post it for you guys. I was like, oh man. So I am going to start following the trial again when they start with his dad. And then SRB said, I thought that's what Olivia said too, like a campus DD type thing. Yes. If anybody can find that, let me know. I'll love you forever. I'm going to anyway, but I mean, oh my gosh. It was just like, I know I heard that, but I cannot find it. It was Anna's mother that mentioned the locks. You need to re-listen. Okay, yeah, I have it actually up. I'm going to do a live one later. For some reason, I swear I heard her dad come out with an interview that said that he did it. Like way before the mother came out. Let me see. Let's see what this is. I don't know if this is, well, this might be the mother. Let's see. I don't know if this is conspiracy. I'm going to show you guys this video. I don't know if this is going to be it or not, but I'm just going to show it to you really quick. Yeah, no, you're right, AY. Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, he makes a right out of the grub truck. They go left and he makes a right. He could be going right towards his car. I think maybe he was going to go left. Maybe saw either that his car wasn't that way and was like, oh, my car's not that way. Or he went that way thinking he was going to go after the girls maybe. And then he saw that there was a car there waiting for them. But either way, I'm not sure. I wanted to play this. It says that Xana's mom, Xana's father speaks out. So maybe this is where I heard it, but I'm not sure.
She didn't really worry about the drama stuff that much.
Yeah.
She wasn't into that. She just liked having fun, wasn't worried about materialistic things. She was with her friends all the time. I heard from her even before we went out, I think midnight was the last time I heard from her, and then she was fine. I have no idea. That doesn't make sense. The door locks with the number code.
Uh-huh.
Every time you open it, like I had to go back to I had to go around the house to get in the house because of the number code. So they either knew that or they just kind of went around and found the slider open. They were just hanging out at home.
Yeah.
Santa was hanging out at home with her boyfriend. Because her and Ethan were together about a year, give or take some, whatever. But she really, when I went up there, I saw her just, a week before that. She changed a lot. She had a life. She got to see what it was to have a boyfriend to live with and have a real life. And she really turned around and was being really responsible, helping him out. He did studies and stuff. I was really impressed. Bruises and just, maybe hurt by the knife or whatever. She's a tough kid. Whatever she wanted to do, she could do it.
So I didn't show it there. Make sure you go to Conspiracy and like her channel. I'm going to put the video in here. Oops. I really like her stuff. So let me see what you guys said. Let me see where we're at. Let me see where we was at. Because Olivia kept saying not an Uber. Yeah, because in the beginning interviews, they were saying an Uber, but then she was like, no, it's not an Uber. You're right, SRB. Okay. Probably one of the first couple interviews with the family, she stated that, maybe the interview where it was her and her mom and the aunt. I went through that one. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to have to go through that again. I'm going to write that down. I'm just going to listen to that because I have to go all the way. I have to drive or ride. I'm riding all the way. We're going to Columbus and it's a drive. I have to go get Botox done today. So for migraines. So I'm going to be on here anyway. I have a couple things too I wanted to say maybe. What was it? What else did I want to say? Oh, I wanted to get this out. It's kind of like a side note, but it's about the case before I forget. But the whole timeline with Ethan and Xana, you know how they're missing the timeline? Like they don't know if they left the party or something. What if they left the party and they just went home to be alone with each other? And that's why nobody saw them. They thought all the roommates are going to be out of the house. Let's go home and have our time together. I just wanted to get that out because I know that they're saying a lot of stuff about the timeline. Let me see if I wanted to show what else I wanted to show you. If there's anything.
Hey guys, hello and welcome
Sorry.
to True Crime. In this video, I'm going to break down the house.
Every time I go on a video, it decides to play it. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything that I wanted to show you. Oh, and I did want to make sure there's nothing, no new news too. Oh yeah, and then I like to show you this. Brian Eaton, he actually was outside of the fraternity house, Sigma Chi, and he found the president. I don't know if you guys saw this, and they talked for a minute. So we can watch this too. We'll watch this really quick.
I knew them. Ethan was always in the house. Sam was good friends before Ethan even came up. But that's all I really want to talk about right now because I actually have class here in like 15 minutes.
Sigma Chi President Reed Offson says the fraternity is cooperating with the investigation. The fraternity is about half a block from the house where the murders happened.
Does anyone know where they were during that timeline? Like, they still this big chunk where?
As of right now, we've told Moscow PD, Idaho State Police, and the FBI all we know. We're kind of leaving it up to them to piece it together. Obviously, we don't have the utilities or resources to do it on our own, so we're just putting full faith in the officers on hand and the detectives doing it. But that's all I really know right now.
Are there any cameras around?
Not on the property.
Moscow police say they are investigating the time frame between 9 p.m. the night before the murders on November 12th and 1:45 a.m. when Ethan and Xana were believed to be at the Sigma Chi house. Meanwhile, detectives are not commenting on whether or not they are making significant progress in the case, only saying they have no suspects identified and will not release information at the risk of compromising the investigation. And we have learned that starting tomorrow, police will go into the house behind me, which is still a crime scene, and start removing some of the personal items that belong to the victims. They say they want to return those items to the families. Nicole?
Okay. So they are actually today. So let me read a couple of your comments really quick. I think I'm missing some. I watched most of that trial. So being from Ohio, it hit a little too close to home. One of my brothers was living in that area when it happened. Oh yeah, in Piketon area, yeah. So we were talking about the we're kind of back and forth on our cases, but we were talking about the massacre that happened, the Rodin massacre that happened down in Pike County, Ohio. I believe it was in 2016. I want to say April of 2016. 8 members of one family were killed in one night. Literally, if you think about the Hatfields and McCoys, that's what it was. SRB said, then seemed confused when they hopped in the car. Jack S. must have gone to his car. He was sober and wired. But see, the thing is, I've heard from a lot of people that he was kicked out of the bar that night because he was drunk and he was hitting on girls and just being that guy. We all know that guy at the bar, the girls do. When you're 21, there's always that one guy that wants to follow you around if you're a pretty girl, or if you're just a girl. It might not be that one, but definitely one of the earlier ones, I believe. This seems to fit his reaction. Yeah. Oh, hey, Aunt Jemima. I smell BS. Would be interested to know if JS went to the bar alone or with anyone. Yeah, I would like to know too. And I'd also like to know this. Joe Vidit was at the bar that night, right? Yep, he was at the bar because Maddie ran into him at the bar. So if Maddie ran into him at the bar, that bar is small. I don't know if you guys have seen that bar, but it's not big. I can show it to you. So I don't know how they didn't see each other. Because he said he didn't know who that was. But this bar ain't very big. Let me see. I don't know what my dog's barking at, but she's being crazy. So this is the bar. I'm trying to find there's a horse in there. But if you can see, I mean, I guess it can hold a lot of people, but maybe. Well, it didn't show me that picture. That's stupid. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's really that big. Do you guys think it's that big? That's where like he wouldn't see him? And Joe's a big guy. He looks to be a tall guy. Heidi Persis said, yes, Pike video is how I found you first time. Aw, I keep Pike mindset when looking at this case. I feel like sus is so obvious, but observing getting overlooked. Yes. That's why, like, okay, like, that's, okay, so the suspect is so obvious, but observed, getting overlooked. That's exactly why, like, I did a live the other day, like, I think the title was, like, going back to the beginning, like, just trying to, you know what I mean, just go back. I said, I feel like, and I don't know if it was in this description or the last or something, but I was like, I feel like we're so, like, I feel like the officers, they probably maybe know who it is, but I feel like us as, you know, internet sleuths and the public just being curious as just one, you know, as a whole, I feel like I don't know, I feel like we need to just go back and like look, and that's what I put in my title, you know, just go back and look, and it's there. Yeah, so it's like, it's average size. So okay. There's no way. Well, okay, no, there's no way. There's no way. He got kicked out of the bar that night. That would make commotion of some sort. You would think a drunk guy getting kicked out of the bar. So either he got kicked out before Joe got there, or Joe just didn't know that was the guy that was getting kicked out of the bar. You know, maybe he just saw someone getting kicked out and he wasn't paying attention. But then why was Joe at the bar if he's not drinking? Why would you go to a bar and not drink? That's a terrible idea. Being around drunk people, sober, is the worst idea in the world. I'm having questions now. I've got these questions. I'm glad you guys are here with me. Remember all these guys. Write these down for me. Because really, who goes to the bar and only has, I guess you do go to the bar and have one drink, but not in your 20s. Maybe you do. I don't know. Not me. Not when I was, I went hard though when from like 21, well, like 22 to 25 or something, I'd say. Those were my drinking days. I didn't have a whole lot of them, you know, and I don't drink now, but when I did, I did. But I would know everybody in the bar. That bar's small. You think that, like, that town, you would know everybody. It's not even time for me to take those dogs out yet, so I don't know why they're barking. I make a terrible detective. I'm suspicious of everybody. Then you would know. You would make the perfect detective because you should be suspicious of everybody until you rule people out. But I said this before on my live, don't ever let anybody, like, if I ever die like a bad way, don't put me on YouTube. Don't let people get to me, you know what I mean? Moscow's oldest sports bar featuring 14 draft beers. Oh, man, you got the whole thing. Okay, look at this. We're going to promote Moscow's oldest sports bar, Jenny Rose said, featuring 14 draft beers, 9 TVs, free shuffleboard. One of the only smoking porches where you can drink in town, and some of the best drink prices in the area. Oh, I like that. Good morning, Pin Dizzy. I feel like I just did like a, you know, little skit for them, or like a little commercial. Let's see here. What time do I have to leave? Oh yeah, okay. I'm like, that's so funny. Okay. Like I read something. Sorry, this isn't funny, but I read something. So I think that was the only update from Brian. Oh, I don't know if I told you this, but they are taking things out of the house today. I don't know if you saw the newest update on that. We read it last night on my live. So last night on my live, they said today that they are going to be removing items from the house of the victims to give, and I'm sure of the survivors too, to give to the families. I'm assuming it's, clothing that was able to be saved. Clothing, we were talking about clothing, jewelry, accessories, anything that they can actually, take out of there. The officers are actually, so normally in a homicide like this, they release the house back to whoever, usually that someone owns it. They don't clean it up. They just release it back to you, and here you go. Thank you. See you later. So literally you have to, clean up whatever the hell graphic scene was in that house. Like whatever it was, you have to clean it up. I've heard horror stories about it. Well, the police officers in this case, I think this is fine. This is a fine example of policemen. I love this idea, and more people need to do this. Everybody needs to do this. But the police officers, they're going in and they are removing the property themselves that is salvageable, like, whatever they can give the families for now. And they're going to load it up into trucks, take it to a separate location, and then they are going to allow the families to, have those belongings. So that way those family members don't have to go back in that home and pack up the things. I think that is outstanding. I think that is admirable. And more police agencies really need to follow that. They really, really, really do. Penny said she doesn't drink either. Yeah, I don't either. I don't smoke either. Yeah, I don't smoke cigarettes either. I used to smoke cigarettes, and for 15 years I smoked. Oh my God, it was terrible. I was very, 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 very young when I started. I was like 15 years. I'd say it's more like 13. But I was very young when I started. Both my parents smoked. I didn't think that it was anything out of the ordinary for me to do that. And then I was in my car accident and I collapsed a lung. And when you can't breathe, it changes your mindset. So I quit after that. But I do vape. But I don't smoke. But I mean, nicotine's nicotine, but I don't care. Jenny on Penny. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. We have a Jenny and a Penny. Where are you guys from? Everybody in the chat, we have some new people. We usually do this, and I usually have on an Ohio shirt, which I have one on right now, which is so funny. But I normally have on an Ohio shirt because I've got a ton of them, so everyone knows where I'm from. But we usually put it in the chat, where we're from. If you're from, somewhere that's, not Eastern Standard Time, another country or something, we always say where, what time it is, things like that. We are a fun chat, I am telling you. British Columbia. I had a feeling that you were, I don't know, a different country. I don't know why, but I did. That's awesome. My boyfriend was actually saying this the other day. So I have a boutique. And he used to tell me things about my boutique, I'm proud of you and stuff, but he never, I don't know. It was just a different kind of thing. And so after a while, I started to get a little discouraged, with my boutique and stuff. And then I've been doing YouTube a lot more. And my channel has been growing pretty steadily. And just I don't know, he just told me the other day how proud he was of me. And I just thought that was the sweetest. And he was just talking about, how, he's like, Tanya, you have all these people, friends from all these different countries now. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. I'm like, you're really, really right. So I love it so, so much that you guys are all here. I am going to do a live later on tonight because I want to do one over the locks and stuff like that. And why I think that's just suspicious. I also want to go over the way I think that the perpetrator came through the house, how he went through the house, what he did. What else? I think that might be all of that. Also, do you guys have a Discord? Do you guys, I just signed up for Discord while we were watching Nancy Grace, but I'm still checking it out. Like I think let me see. I'll have to set it up all the way, but it should be set up here in a little bit, and it'll be under I don't know what the name will be, but TitaniumBuilt should be my name, and if not, I'll let you guys know exactly the name in the community post. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you do, because I tweet out a lot of things like faster than I put videos out, and sometimes I'll even forget to say it in my live, but I'll tweet it. Also, and my Twitter handle is actually, it's at @titanium_built. I want to put that in the chat really quick. Because I want you guys to be able to follow me over there. So do Twitter. Oh, spell it right. And then it's Titanium. Of course, I have like long name _built. Oh, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I didn't realize how close to Ohio is to me. Oh, yeah. Where are you from, Penny? Oh, you said, wait. Oh, you didn't say. Right, Melissa? I heard some stuff has happened in the area he's lived in, Washington State. Oh, wow. Joe Bidditt? Oh. See, okay, so you were here for the beginning of my video, but we're about to play that again real quick. Do I have it right here? Or no? Yeah, no, I do. We'll watch it from here. Okay, so we're going to watch this really quick. Again, just for really quick. Virginia Beach. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I would love to live near the beach. One of my good friends actually lives down there. Her and her husband moved there. He's military, so they live there now. Oh, okay, yeah. No, yeah, Ohio's over by Pennsylvania on East Coast. They should completely be looking into Jack Showalter. I don't know, raid his house, confiscate devices, and investigate. Make him take a lie detector test. Use survival dogs to recognize them. Yeah. I need a vacation. Virginia would be nice. Anywhere would be nice. Actually, like I told my boyfriend last night, I was like, can we go back to California? Like, that's where he's from. I'm like, can we just go visit your mom? And he's like, that's expensive, Tanya. It's like $1,000 for tickets. And I'm like, all we do is call mom. He would buy it. He has the money, but we just went out there. But I think it was funny. I said, all you have to do is call your mom and say, Mom, I want to come see you. That's how sweet she is. So I'm gonna play this video again because I want you guys to watch this. I was about to ask you guys that, public art critic. I don't know. Oh, you have a Discord for Harsh? Okay, so I'm gonna do a Discord. So that's what I was getting to. I'm gonna make a Discord so we can talk about cases and stuff in there. I might be a little slow at first, but I'm gonna try to get it the same. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get it to work. Okay, so let me play this for you. I think so. In this video, I think that she might not be pointing at Jack and saying "F you, Mister" to him, but she might be pointing throughout the video and then says that to Joe. I was looking at this morning before I came up on my live, and I saw that, and I was like, "Whoa!" So I don't know if anyone else has seen that yet, but I just think that it's very, very strange. So, yeah. So let me play that for you. Oh, Idaho, not Ohio. Oh, I was like, yeah, no, Ohio's over here on the East Coast. Okay, so yeah. And this is a little bit from the beginning.
And cheese after partying at a nearby bar.
Everybody seems like in good spirits.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Off, and then they start interacting with it.
I didn't share the screen with y'all. That might help, huh? If you guys are just now coming in, if you could like the video, I would love that. And if you would love to subscribe to the channel, we would love to have you. I also have it on subscriber only mode, only because trolls and bots and stuff like that. It's hard for me to control that whenever I am the moderator and the entertainer and the creator. All right, so here we go.
A couple other people, they're waiting for their food.
Now look at this. Video shows Madison pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive. Blank you, mister, she says. Police have already announced they have cleared the young man in the hoodie. Audio engineer Anthony Nelson enhanced the audio for Inside Edition. What do you hear in?
I want you guys to see that one more time.
In good spirits, nothing seemed off. And then they start interacting with a couple other people. They're waiting for their food.
Now look at this. Video shows Madison pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using it.
Like, doesn't it look like she's she's pointing at Joe? Instead of like, I feel like her arm would be going more like this way. Like, it's more this way. So you guys will have to watch the beginning of this live because we went through this whole video. Because I've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes now. So yeah, so we went through this whole video because I noticed this before I was coming on the live. I wanted to show you guys this video because I was going to show you the kind of the opposite almost, like just that she was yelling, you know, F you to him, but then I saw her pointing and I'm like, wait a minute. So I just think that is very, very strange. I don't know, guys. I am going to come on later though because I want to talk about the locks in the house. I have like a couple little little ideas kind of like this that I saw, like just little things, and I'm just curious. Also in this video, the beginning of this video, watch this. I don't know if this has anything to do with anything at all, but let me see. It's hard to see right here. Let me see if I can get a better angle. Okay. Do you see the guy back here standing right here with his legs? He just is standing there. Like, he's been standing there for a few seconds. And he's like, I don't know where he went. Let's see where he went. It's weird. Hold on.
The video and audio from the clip
right
enhanced, and you can hear her using an
There he
expletive. Blank you, mister, she says.
He's
Police have
walking
already
funny.
announced they have
But he
cleared
goes
the
that
young man
way.
in the.
It looks like he goes the same way. Who is that guy? Exactly. Yeah, Penn Disney. Yeah, exactly. See, he's pointing back. Well, that's when he's pointing because they're leaving, but yeah. He was talking something. I don't know what he was saying. That could be right. Yeah, Mystic Werewolf, you could be absolutely right. Could he know private driver or is he an next door neighbor? I don't know. I mean, yeah, Joe has a kid, but so did a fetus killer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just because you have a kid does not mean anything. I'm sorry, it doesn't. There's so many people that kill that have kids. I would say more people kill that have kids that don't have kids. But so I do have to get off of here because I have to go get that Botox done today. No, it's not for cosmetic reasons. It's because I get the worst migraines in the world because my head was hit against a couple things in a car accident. So I gotta get like 30 shots in my head today. And then I take a nap on the way home. I think Joe talks about what he does in the 4th video. Okay, it was the ones that he was the car, not the cringy shirtless belly pose. I've actually been watching, I believe, the dark fit guy comes soon after. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that whole video over again. I'm curious now because I just saw the guy, so I wasn't sure. Like I just saw the earlier today, so I was like, ooh, and I didn't get a chance to watch the whole 10-minute video again because I came on. But I am gonna get off here because my dogs are at the door. If you haven't added me on Twitter, please do. Please like the video. My Twitter handle is @titanium_built. My TikTok, I'm making a Discord right now, but my TikTok, my Discord, my Instagram, and my Patreon are all @titaniumbuilt. And my email, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you just feel like yelling at somebody, because sometimes people just want to, yell. Just kidding, don't do that. My email is titaniumbuiltboo@gmail.com. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please comment below if you're on a replay. I really appreciate all of you guys. Seriously, I appreciate you guys so much for coming. I also made you a Clubhouse app, which is like a podcast app. It's a big where you can chat about just chat about anything. So I think that would be nice. And then, like Hill said, the wrestler on YouTube is not the same guy. A poster said Maddie and Shay are friends on one social. Yeah, I heard that too. And I heard that he was actually friends, or he was in a TikTok with someone, or friends with Dylan or something like that as well. But I will see you guys all in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll be back later on today. Maybe I will do a live while I'm at the doctor. But I will see you guys later. I think you guys are all great.